Once Human just hit a brand new developer chat, we learned a ton of new information, especially about the recent patch, and some of the changes that we saw with that there. We also have to go over what might be added to the game in the next few weeks, as well as 2 brand new additional events that aren't noted within the game itself. Last up, we'll cover some community feedback and some of the concerns there with the game overall, as well as a whole bunch more. What's up world, it's Utopia back in with another video. Today we're checking out all things Once Human. Okay, so let's just jump right into the dev chat. What's going on there, all the different discussion with that. So this one here is specifically around the interaction and audio experience optimizations, as we did see some controversial audio changes, many of those causing some community concern, but I will go over those in a bit. First up here, they do mention that they plan to address the feedback regarding the Combat 3C system, which was in that last dev chat that we covered, the camera, character, and control section. So we should be getting an update there sometime soon. This time, they are going to optimize interactions and audio, and they hope to hear your thoughts on this. And again, they did with the recent update. We don't know for sure if they mean in a future update. I think some of this is pertaining to future updates, as we can kind of showcase here. So this first question is about customizable keybinds and if they will receive more of that. The answer here is saying players will be able to customize keybinds for interactions, free camera, building mode, and vehicle mode in this upcoming month. The August patch has already introduced some configurable keybinds. And yeah, as we can see here, we have a really nice new layout for the keybind system. I know people still want some more overall, but I really do like this new layout. Again, hopefully they keep iterating on that, and this looks really nice. So quickly, they do go over multilingual keyboards. They said currently the game can read those by default, and you'll also be able to customize those, and those will be supported in future updates as well. Next up here, they talk about switching weapons with your mouse wheel. They said over the next month, they'll add an option for players to turn off the mouse wheel in the settings. That way you don't accidentally switch with the mouse wheel itself. It's already really known as bad practice in the PC gaming community to use your mouse wheel to switch weapons. Sometimes I do it accidentally as my mouse like kind of clicks in between settings there. And then sometimes on its own it'll just jump to the next setting and it will make me actually switch weapons without me wanting to. So I'll definitely use this feature as well. Now this next one here is a bit of an issue there where people keep getting pop-ups when they enter a territory, or essentially those tip pop-ups. They said they're aware of that issue and they're planning to introduce an option to turn off such tips. That will happen in the next month. Question 5 here also does address that with territory name card. That's the same tip that pops up on the right when you do enter a player's territory. They said in the future you'll also be able to turn those off on the right side with the tips. And question 6 also does address that, where they said some players like to customize how much information is displayed with the HUD. And they said, of course, here in the future, players can go to the settings and customize what modules are included in their HUD. Now, a big one here for question 7 is some players don't like how they can interact with doors, and how do they plan to optimize that? Yeah, the doors are definitely an issue. It's not a problem to open them, but essentially to close them. Sometimes you close yourself in order to get the prompt, and you kind of have to tap your way to the entrance in order to get the prompt so you don't close yourself in there. But they did say regarding this issue, they plan to extend the interaction with the doors by 30% so players can easily open and close doors. Which, yeah, definitely really needed. I'm glad they're hearing that out, as I had a problem with that too. I've also seen some videos of people having issues like that, so I'm definitely glad that they're addressing that. Question 8 here addresses that some players want the option to block message flowers. They already have this option here. If you do want to block the messages or the whispers, you can already under settings, mouse screen, gameplay, and interface. And there is a section there that is dynamic display to disable those message flowers. However, again, this might be a translation thing. Those actually are called whispers on the NA client. And yeah, you can disable those. They do look like a flower, of course. We now move on to the SFX section. First question here is the more radio tracks, which they definitely do need new ones. I've had to turn mine off at this point because it's just on repeat. They're working to add more music in the future, and for this, they've been working closely with NetEase Cloud so that players can listen to their favorite music in-game. That sounds really cool. That feature is going to be awesome when that gets implemented. Question 2 here is about background music being too loud. Although, as they point out, you can already do that in the music volume section under the game. Question 3 goes over improving weapon sound effects. Now, obviously, the big one here is the Fortress Warfare, kind of having that funky sound or just being a little bit too much. They have a plan in place to optimize these, especially the fade out sound effect. That'll become a lot smoother in the future. Some players think the footstep sounds are a bit monotonous. They said here they designed a unique footstep sound effect for when characters come in contact with different textures. They said if you're not hearing different sound effects, it might actually be a bug, so please do report that to the co-dev platform. Now this one here, PvP sound effects, I participated in a war last night and the PvP sound effects were pretty bad. They said the feedback here they received is mixed. Some players think the volume is too low and some think it's too high. It does feel a bit too high, although I guess you could turn those down. I think the overall issue is it just kind of feels a little bit too in your face. Should make this a little bit more smooth like the Fortress Warfare. Question 6 is about the motorcycle sound effect and the horn being too low. They said when the music is on that the honking sound is actually muffled out. Once you turn down the music, the honking sound will return to normal. And they don't want the honking sound to be too loud as it might disturb other players, which I definitely get, but I wish it was a little bit louder. Next question goes over the prompting sounds and the pollution zones, which are triggered too frequently. They said for now a workaround is that you can turn this sound effect off as a workaround. Question 8 goes over the Stardust resonant filter sound being too loud. They are going to adjust that in the future. This last question is about the radio and the sound there, but you can already adjust the audio for the radio. That's just under sound settings. The next dev chat is going to be how to optimize other aspects of the game. So when they do drop that one, I'll be sure to cover it. Jumping over, we do have those events to talk about. So these are actually not presented within the game currently. This first one here is an emote contest. They want people to create a game-related emote for a chance to win some exciting prizes. The event dates for this had already started August 1st at 9 p.m. That's CST. And this will end August 15th, 9 p.m. CST, 10 p.m. EST, and 7 p.m. PST. To participate, they want you to post an original emote design in the emote contest gallery. Obviously, they want it to be an original version and an emote library version. The top 5 in that channel for the community favorite rewards will receive a special honorary community role, 5 season pass vouchers, 5 butterfly emissary crates, and your emote will be added to the server's emote library. For the most creative award, they will be the ones doing the selection, with 3 season pass vouchers being the reward, 3 butterfly emissary crates, and there is a participation reward as well. If you submit the maximum of 5 entries, you will receive 3 emissary crates. Again, if you do want to enter into that stuff, head over to the official Discord. I will leave a link to it down below. Jumping over to our second event here. It looks like Once Human is going to be at Gamescom, and to celebrate this, they're holding a giveaway for Steam gift cards. To enter, you have to follow their X account or their Twitter account, like, repost, and comment on to participate in this. They're giving away 5 $20 Steam gift cards and 3 $50 Steam gift cards. The event will end on 8/17, and the winners will be announced on 8/19. And again, I will include a link to this tweet down below, so if you do want to enter. We have a few last-minute mentionables here. This one is about the vending machines. Again, coming from the official Once Human Twitter account, they went over here that which 2 colors do you think are still missing? So it looks like they're going to be adding some more colors to vending machines in the near future. I think this would be super useful in the future, especially when players will kind of designate them to like green being plants, or at least the gathering or food materials, and more than likely the red one or the yellow one being ammo and then gear. Stuff like that will definitely become the norm, and you won't have to use signs anymore pointing to which one has which. And you won't have to enter people's vending machines to know what they're actually selling. Although the map does tell you what people are selling if you hover over the vending machines, but that just adds an extra layer, and so having this there will definitely help players designate that better. I want to go over this last post here where they talk about the durability of weapons and gear. They said that should be increased as it's too low right now, and this kind of pertaining to Leia Labs, which I definitely agree. As an SMG user, or at least I've been switching back to my SMG build, it degrades way too fast. They need to do something about that. I get maybe they don't want you to use legendary weapons that you don't own, so maybe what they could do is do a 2-tier system there. Essentially, if you don't own the weapon, it will degrade faster, but if you do own the weapon, it shouldn't degrade as quickly. Or maybe they can even add a food item that helps with durability there. Definitely wouldn't be opposed to either of those things. Curious on your guys' thoughts with that. I hope that's addressed in the near future. Overall, that should about cover today's video. If you like and subscribe. Until the next one. Deuce!